What is going on, everybody? Back at it again with another YouTube video, and as you guys can tell, I got a new camera. A lot better looking. It really does look a lot better. I can already tell. This is the first time with me recording on it, and I can already tell I really like it. It looks a lot clearer, like a lot clearer. And today, I'm really going to be talking about the whole Elton Brand, New York Knicks, Philadelphia 76ers, kind of interest that the Knicks have. So, yesterday, I got an update that Leon Rose and the New York Knicks want to look into hiring Elton Brand. And what I say to that, it's nothing too awful, because I do like Elton Brand, and I don't think he's going to leave. I think the Sixers will retain him for next season, because I'm pretty sure he already has a contract extension with us. But I think that the Sixers are going to keep Elton Brand just based off of what he's done, and he hasn't been doing it for that long. So I'm going to be discussing today what moves Elton Brand has made throughout his tenure with the 76ers. The first move he made with the Sixers was obviously trading for superstar Jimmy Butler. Now, at the time, it was like last November. I remember exactly where I was. I was at football practice. I just got done, and my phone is absolutely blowing up with texts, with calls, with Twitter notifications, with Instagram notifications. And then I see Jimmy Butler traded to the 76ers for Dario Saric, Robert Covington, Jared Bayless, and a pick. And I said, oh my God, it's Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler he's been a stud with the Chicago Bulls, with the Timberwolves, with the Sixers, and now with the Miami Heat. And at the time of the move, I had a lot of, I was very happy that we got Jimmy Butler. He's Jimmy Butler. But at the same time, obviously, Robert Covington and Dario Saric were a very big part of the Sixers' success for the season prior to last year. With the 50-win season and the 18 games that we won straight to end the season, from beating Miami to then losing to Boston in the second round. But I just think Jimmy Butler was just that much better. And we also got Justin Patton in the trade, which didn't really make any sense. It made sense just because of the contract, but it didn't help at all. That's what I meant, not it didn't make sense. But Justin Patton barely played. But Jimmy Butler was Jimmy Butler. He was a superstar. So now, at the time of this trade, your starting lineup was Ben Simmons, Jimmy Butler, Wilson Chandler, Joel Embiid, and I'm drawing a blank on the last guy. Ben, Jimmy, Wilson Chandler. Oh, I'm pretty sure Landry JJ. Ben, JJ, Jimmy, Wilson Chandler, Joel. That was the starting five. Couple months go by, trade deadline. My mom comes into the room, and she says, the Sixers just made a trade for this Harris guy. I immediately get up out of my bed, turn on Sports Talk Radio 97.5, and I hear that the 76ers have made a trade with the Los Angeles Clippers to get Tobias Harris, Mike Scott, and Boban Marjanovic. And we traded Landry Shamet, Wilson Chandler, Mike Muscala, and a pick. Or 2 picks, or something like that. Now I'm really excited, because now your starting five is Ben, JJ, Jimmy, Tobias, Joel. And who would have ever thought that Mike Scott was going to be as good as solid and as much as a contributor as he was last season? That he was. Mike Scott instantly became a fan favorite with the team. I have a Mike Scott jersey. I have a Mike Scott arm sleeve. I'll even show you it. Mike Scott arm sleeve. He gave it to me after the game that he actually hit a game-winning shot against the Orlando Magic. I have a Mike Scott fan account on Instagram. I have a Mike Scott t-shirt with him drinking, the Hennessy at the Milwaukee Bucks game. Mike Scott instantly became a fan favorite, and obviously the duo with Bobby and Toby. They've been together for a while at this point. They were with each other in Detroit. They got traded to LA together, and then they get traded to Philadelphia together. So now you have a bench, and we also made a move for James Ennis by trading Markelle. Well, we got James Ennis for a buyout. For a second-round pick, we got James Ennis. Then we traded Markelle for Jonathan Simmons. Now, right there, that was a bad move. Not saying that Markelle wasn't, going to be... I didn't think Markelle was going to be on this team next season. But for Jonathan Simmons, I think you could have gotten more. At the time of the trade, I thought we were going to trade Markelle for, Jonathan Isaac, Ken Birch, and a pick. That's what I thought. But when we only got Jonathan Simmons and a first-round pick, which that first-round pick then became Matisse Thybulle. But at the time, we didn't know that. So you had a solid bench. You had a great starting five. And you couldn't, I really was excited. I was excited. We go to the playoffs. We obviously know what happened in the second round. Kawhi hit the luckiest shot in NBA history to knock us out. But I think without the acquisitions of Jimmy Butler, Tobias Harris at that time, I don't think we would have been in that position. I think we would have lost to the Raptors in 5 games, honestly. And I think the reason why Jimmy Butler isn't here now is because of Brett Brown. And, that's a video for another day. I don't have time to get into Brett Brown talks right now. All I know is he better not be with us next season. That's all I can say. So at this time, obviously it sucked. But now we go into free agency. And we hear multiple speculations on Jimmy Butler leaving, Tobias Harris going to Brooklyn, Jimmy going to LA, the Lakers, the Clippers, the Heat. Well, then comes July. We lose J.J. Redick in the first 10 minutes to the Pelicans. And I was like, well, okay, that sucks. We signed Mike Scott. We signed James Ennis, who is now traded. James Ennis is. And then we signed Tobias. But before Jimmy gets traded, there's a trade with Jimmy to go from Philly to Miami. So it was a sign and trade. We got Josh Richardson in the process. I was like, okay, at least we got something. It could have been a lot worse. I wanted a little bit more because he's Jimmy Butler, but I would have taken a starting caliber player like Josh Richardson on the team. And then you get the news that you sign Al Horford. Now at this time, I am freaking out. You take a dominant big man on the Celtics and bring him to the Sixers. Not only was he a dominant player on the Celtics, but he dominated Embiid. Every game, he dominated Embiid. And it was just amazing to think about that duo with those two. So now you go into this season, 2019-2020. You have Ben, you have Richardson, you have Tobias, who signs a $180 million max contract deal. You re-sign Ben. So now it's Ben, J-Rich, Tobias, Al Horford, and Joel Embiid. That's your starting five with Mike Scott, James Ennis, and then you sign a couple other guys. You lose Boban, you lose TJ, but then you get other pieces, a couple guys here, a couple guys there, and now you have this team that everybody thought it was going to work. You can't tell me at the beginning. The only worry that I had with Al is that he was getting older and that his contract was a little bit much. But other than that, I was fine with it. Now we are here, April 2nd, no basketball, and now what do I think of all these moves now? My first move is you gotta keep JJ. You have to. He's the shooter that the Sixers need desperately, and we still don't have it. He tried to make some moves for shooters late or early in free agency, or the trade deadline with Alec Burks and Glenn Robinson. Okay, you trade James Ennis for like a pick or something. All right. But now you're here. We don't know what's going to happen. Playoffs should be starting in a couple weeks. We're not playing. We're not obviously going to have playoffs for a little while right now. But I like the moves, and I still think it needs a little bit more time. And I would like to see the move with Al Horford and Joel Embiid with a different coach. I do not think Brett Brown will be the head coach next season. I don't. I really don't believe that Brett Brown will be the head coach next season. No matter what. No matter what's going on with this quarantine, with not playing, I do not think Brett Brown will be the head coach of the 76ers next season. And with that, I think Elton Brand has done a fine job as GM. I think he's new to this. I think he's got to... I like the moves that he's made. I like the moves because it takes guts to do it. And normal GMs wouldn't have done that. Dario and Rocco were labeled as untouchable. He traded them for Jimmy Butler. 2 guys, Bayless and a pick for Jimmy Butler. So I think Elton Brand has done a fine job. I cannot see him going to the New York Knicks unless they offer him some massive amount of money. I just can't see him going to that slop organization. They are not good. They have stunk for years. The 2012 Knicks were the last time the Knicks were really decent. And that's what I'm going to leave it at that. So let me know your thoughts and opinions on Elton Brand. If you like the job he's done, if you want to see him back next season, let me know in the comments below. Also, if you haven't already, leave a like on this video. It helps push out the channel to great sports and Philadelphia sports fans like yourselves. Remember to always subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. We are at 270 subs right now. Let's try to hit 275-ish by the end of tonight. Thank you all for watching. Remember, like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'm out. Peace.